back to another penny stock video. Today we're looking at a NASDAQ small cap that I think is setting up to be a really nice swing trade, and that's SGMA, Sigmatron International Inc. What do? Well, they provide electronic manufacturing services. As you can see, they have common real-time systems, centralized approach to supply chain management, and world-class quality. Ensure a consistent approach whether your product is built in US, Mexico, or Asia. So they do have a global presence. They're in consumer, industrial, and medical markets. And you can see they do product development support, supply chain management, and PCBA manufacturing. And again, global options. They're supporting United States, Mexico, and Asian manufacturing markets. So they're all over the world with this. Let's dig into the good stuff with this stock. So the first thing I really want to highlight here is the massive discrepancy between revenue and market cap. You can see here we have revenue of $311.7 million. Very significant amount of annual revenue versus what's the market cap? Less than 10 million. That's actually kind of mind-boggling. It's very undervalued off that alone. This is a super undervalued gem. And you can see you have almost 20% inside ownership as well on a 4.94 million share float. So relatively small float, extremely undervalued in terms of market cap compared to revenue. And you'll see there's a couple more cool things that are worth highlighting about this stock. It's not just an undervalued gem, but on May 2nd, on May 1st here, there was a pretty significant catalyst, which was TCW Group filing a 13G here. As you can see, this is the Sigmatron International FinPatel page. And TCW Group filed a 13G representing 11.18% ownership. That's a very significant stake in SGMA. You can see this is their investment portfolio. Their top holdings are NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Meta. So these guys are the real deal. It's a major asset management company. As you can see, here's their website, tcw.com. You go to /rfirm, and they will tell you they manage $195 billion in assets as of December 31st, 2024. And they don't typically really invest in a ton of small cap companies at this market cap. It's pretty rare for them. So the fact that they own 11% of SGMA is really significant and definitely worth highlighting. They see the value here. You know, I'm not crazy saying there's a massive value discrepancy because a firm that manages $195 billion worth of assets agrees with me and are buying shares, right? So that's a super significant thing to highlight with this stock is the TCW Group 13G filed on May 1st. And if we take a look at the chart, you can see it's done pretty well ever since. So we have a really nice stair-stepping chart building here. You see first leg up, it broke that 9-day or that 50-day moving average and found that as support. And now in its second leg up, it's using the 9-day moving average as support. So where can our first target for this stock be? Well, let's draw a couple lines, guys. So we're going to do a line here at 150. We've seen a little bit of resistance around there, right? After this, where's our next target? Well, our next target is right here, around 220 at this 200-day moving average. So generally speaking, it's a pretty traditional and classic chart setup here where you mount the smaller moving averages, right, and you go for the big boy, the 200 MA. They call it the 200 MA magnet. You may have seen me tweet that before. It applies to a lot of stocks. It's a very classic chart setup for a swing trade when you're looking for that price to go up and retest the 200 MA above, right? Because that's just such a critical price point for the stock that it becomes likely to retest that at some point. And then there's also a gap. If we break this 200 MA, things get really fun because there's a gap up here at 460. So if you break this 200 MA, maybe you bounce around there, consolidate a bit, find support, and then another leg up from there could bring us to this gap fill here at 460. And even then, we're talking about what, a $35-40 million market cap, and it has $312 million in revenue, guys. So massively undervalued small cap NASDAQ gem we are looking at here. Beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous chart setup, so much upside potential. And of course, the TCW Group 13G filing on May 1st can reaffirm our confidence in this swing trade. generally speaking, a company that manages $195 billion in assets is not buying 11% of your company unless they see some pretty significant upside there. So that covers most of what I wanted to talk about with SGMA, Sigmatron International. Keep this on watch. It had a very strong day today, and it looks like it's just about ready to make that run to that 200 MA test and hopefully beyond. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.